bottom half guard. So I'll be back in the half guard, and I'm gonna get up to where I'm on my knees with an underhook, and we'll kind of start from there. So we already did taking the back once I get to my knees. Now we'll look at kind of if he gets a whizzer, or if I kind of like having his arm trapped, how we're gonna go about sweeping him. The sweep's gonna rely on me being able to push into him enough to be able to make him have to drive into me pretty hard so he can stay up. If he's not pushing into me hard enough, then the sweep won't work. Okay, and then you just fall into the person, you'll feel like a dummy. So hold the arm. As I'm making my underhook, my knuckles go towards his body as I pull with my legs. So I pull him forward into my underhook with my legs. Remember, this top knee kind of knees him in the butt. As I pull, clamp on the hips, switch the legs, come up. Start building your base, drive into him. Now, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to take the guy's back. That's your main goal. But being able to have the option to take his back is very dependent on if he has that whizzer or not, so that overhook. So what I want to be able to do is regulate if he can actually get that overhook or not. So we're going to look at it from kind of two different points of view, so the perspective will change. What I mean by perspective change is I'm either wanting him to put that arm in or I'm not letting him put his arm in. Okay. So if my elbow stays tight to my hip and he can't put his arm in, well, that's one thing. It's also another thing if he can't get his arm in, but I want him to think he's got his arm in. Okay. So like if he starts driving his elbow or his arm, he can't get it in, and I loosen up, pressure it, and I do this is a very different game. It feels very different to him now. This, drive heavy here, this feels very different to me, which also feels different to him. So in other words, if I let him get the underhook in, or the overhook, the whizzer, it allows me to trap his arm, okay? If he's got it, then my arm is trapped. I don't let him trap my arm, I trap his arm. So if he's driving that in, and I do this, and he can't get his arm back out, then he's stuck. If I gave him too much space to work with, and now he wrenches this down, and he's heavy on my shoulder here, and it's kind of clamping me, now I'm stuck. Now I'm in the bad position, okay? So I don't want to have to recover from this. I want to play from this. So if you notice, the posture of my body is very different, okay? So now onto the kind of forcing him into the sweep. If I drive into him, I can push with my hand, my knee, my foot. This is where I'm going to get the most, is by pushing with my leg. But the sweep's going to happen because he's pushing into me. He doesn't want to fall that way. So whenever I decide it's time to go, I dive everything underneath him as if I'm doing a forward roll. It's like I'm going to forward roll over my right shoulder, and my right arm is going to hug his far leg. So like I drive, I feel that good push in him. I dive and roll. Okay? Now, I can keep his leg right here, and I can start torquing this out. And now, one little detail, you don't have to worry about doing this, but if I get this far with the move, I have good pressure on his ribs right now with my shoulder because I have a good clinch on him. This outside leg is going to help the other leg get free. So watch, notice my foot. My foot's going to hook right in like a reverse butterfly hook. And I can start clearing and making my pass. Okay. You may or may not have to do that last part. Sometimes you just go straight to side. But I got to here, I'm up, my leg's out, okay? Let's say you don't have the whizzer yet, right? I'm pressuring into him. He's trying to get that whizzer. He doesn't have it yet, but he's trying. So start driving it in. See, this is one thing. When I decide to go, I open, I pressure, I clamp his hand down, he's pushing, and I make my roll. Okay, and then I start making my pass.